If you would like, if you are a child or a child at heart, or you just want to know what it feels like to sit up here, I would like to invite you forward for our Christmas message. You might find out what's in the box. So if you'd like to come forward for our children's message, I think I had one adult who said, do you have to be a kid? You can come all the way up here and sit with me if you want to. Anyone who wants to come and sit up here? Do you want to stay on the stairs? Merry Christmas. Is anyone excited tonight? Is it hard to sit here tonight? Did mom and dad or grandma and grandpa make you dress up and sit still and be quiet? You've been all formal so far. It's kind of hard to do when you're all excited, isn't it? Anyone excited? Nobody's excited tonight? Ready to bounce out of your skin? Because we're excited. Are we maybe expecting a visitor tonight? So we're expecting who tonight? Really? So we're all going to get a visitor tonight? Oh, Rudolph comes to your house too? Well, do you know who that's a picture of over there? St. Nick? Good guess. Kind of looks like Santa Claus or St. Nick, doesn't it? Yeah, I thought so too, but you know what? That actually, his name is Henry. His name is Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. That's a long name for a Longfellow. I just made that up right now. He looks a lot like Santa, doesn't he? But he's actually a very famous American poet. He's probably considered maybe the best American poet in all of American history. Henry, this poet of ours, was born over 200 years ago. 200 years ago. And he lived during a time in our country that we call the Civil War. That Civil War, that time period, was a very sad and scary time in our country. Our whole country divided in half, and people were fighting and killing each other during that time, and it was a terrible, no good, very bad day. As a result, Henry was sad on Christmas. Do you think you could understand why he might be sad on Christmas? Our whole country was at war. And he was sad at Christmas time. But not just because of the war, but a couple of years earlier, he had lost his beloved wife Fanny in a terrible, terrible fire. And just a few weeks beforehand, he had received news that his son Charles, who he told not to go fight in the war, his son Charles had been shot by a Confederate bullet and was very seriously wounded. So it was a very sad time, and on Christmas, Henry was not very happy. Like Henry, I think that we might know some people this year who feel sad and scared at Christmas too. Do you think so? Sometimes people are sad at Christmas time. And in this picture, if you can see it, you might have to move to see it. This bell is the bell of one of our sister churches in California. And it wasn't very long ago in the wildfires out in California, this group of people, our brothers and sisters, lost their whole church building. And this is the bell that would be their Christmas bell lying in what's left in the ashes. Now they have said this bell will ring again because God is not done with us. And so they have great faith. But this time of year is sort of sad for them because they have to worship somewhere new, somewhere that's not their church. Some people this year have lost people that they love. Or people that they love are traveling and they're not home, and so it makes them very sad. Some are sad because there are people suffering in our country and around the world, while other people are selfish and mean to them. And that makes people sad at Christmas time. So this year I have actually been reading Henry's poem, Christmas Bell. And I can hear those voices in his poem. Can I read that poem to you now? This is Henry Wadsworth's poem, Christmas Bells. I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And thought how, as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime, of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then from each black accursed mouth, the cannon thundered in the south, and with the sound the carols drowned of peace on earth, goodwill to men. It was as if an earthquake rent the hearthstones of a continent and made forlorn the households born of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. Then pealed the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill to men. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through that whole poem without cracking, especially after hearing some of the beautiful music tonight, but I did it all the way through. And so we think about this idea. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. You ever heard bells on Christmas Day? I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Their old familiar carols ring. Are we singing some familiar carols tonight? Some songs that we know? Of peace on earth, goodwill to all. But the Christmas story that we just read, it doesn't have any bells ringing in it, does it? I didn't hear anything about bells ringing in the nativity story. There are angels singing, aren't there? Lots and lots of angels singing, and they are the ones who first said those famous Christmas words, peace on earth, goodwill to all. There is a baby in that Christmas story too, right? And that little baby carries all of humanity's hope for peace and goodwill to all. Because that little baby isn't just any little baby, is it? Is that little baby just a little baby? Just another regular little baby? It's not a grown-up. He wasn't born a grown-up. He was just born a little baby. His mother Mary held him in her arms. His name is Jesus, and they named him Jesus because he would save his people from their sins. You see, God loved us all so much. God loved us so much that God came in person to be with us, to show us a way back to God, to give us hope and love and peace and joy and full life. But as Henry said, sometimes there are sad times. For it feels like hate is strong and mocks the song, doesn't it sometimes? We live in a world where people are still mean, and they still hurt each other. And we might look around ourselves as Henry did, and see all the suffering and sadness, even though we know that Jesus came to rescue us, we might still feel sad at this time. But be of good cheer, because did you hear how the poem ended? The bells rang louder and deeper and stronger, because the truth of hope that was ringing in those bells is stronger than any sadness or suffering we might encounter. So when the bells ring out on Christmas or at any other time, I hope that you will remember that those bells are pointing towards Jesus. They're ringing out the joy of Jesus coming to be with us and to reunite us with him. So I hope you will remember that joy that Henry found, that even though he was sad, he found some joy. So I would like to give you a little Christmas gift tonight, a little bit early. I want to give you just a little gift that will help you remind you of that joy. So in my box, I have a bunch of little Christmas jingle bells. And they are not as big or as loud as a church bell, but if you would like to take one, or if you know someone that you want to take one to, I have lots of them in here. They might stick together. Until they're gone. As long as everybody gets one, you can hand them out. And Mom and Dad are going to love me for this. Got it? That's okay. We can have more than one. Welcome and Merry Christmas. Make sure everybody gets some. And if you have brothers or sisters or family members that want some too, that's okay. I got plenty of them. You can just take the whole fruit if you want. Anyone else want Christmas bells? I see some parents looking at me funny. They're just little bells. Merry Christmas. If you're too shy to come and get one now, they'll be right there after service. You can come and get one then. So now we come to a beautiful part of our service tonight. Something some of us look forward to all year long. And as we bring the lights down, and the kids will kind of quiet their jingle bells as best they can, we come to the time of year where we celebrate light coming into the world by sharing light with one another. And I'm going to light from the candles up here in front, and then we will light each other's candles and sing Silent Night.